Welcome back. So let's just create a new orders controller. So I've already actually done it. I just want to show you guys, just the recap of this will be just how you create a controller. Right click here, say add, and if you're on the Windows, you can select the controller and just follow the steps. Very easy. You have to select the API controller with read-write actions as a minimum, else you'll have to write the code yourself, and that's also fine. I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to instead right click now and say add again. And then here what I'm going to say is actually add new item instead of adding the controller, because you can do exactly the same as on the Mac. You can select here ASP.NET Core, Web ASP.NET, and here you select Web API Controller. It's very important you select this guy, API Controller, and not MVC Controller, because you're building REST API, you're not building a UI. The MVC is a UI. Okay, perfect. So then I kind of just went down here and I called it the Orders Controller. And again, I removed the one in the end right here. There we go. And then I said add. And Gazumi, I add a new orders controller. And then I kind of just started populating it. One thing it doesn't pre-populate automatically is this guy right here. It's just information that I'm going to return JSON inside my body. You can put that in there if you want to. The rest of the things, I'm getting the BLL facade just like we did in the customers controller. Go and watch that video if you want to kind of recap on this, because I'm done after this. I don't want to keep recapping everything because I just did all these controllers. So you can just jump back a few videos and you can look at how you create a controller again. But I'm just going to recap it very quickly by saying we have the BLL facade, and with that one we can actually return with the order service now instead of the customer service. We can get all orders. Yeah, and they will return as order business objects, right? Let's scroll down. You can get a single object like this, and you'll return a business object on its own, looking for the ID and using the order service again. Very simple. Now remember, down here we're actually passing in, when we're posting to create something, we're passing in an order business object from the outside. We're going to use the model state to validate. That was kind of what I showed you with validation and status codes, right? So we can validate that the model is okay, and if it's not, we're going to send back a bad request. If it is okay, we're just going to send back the order, right? But remember, something could still go wrong here, so you might want to even wrap this inside a try catch, like we're doing in the update. So let me try and show you the update, because here I'm doing the same thing, but when I'm actually doing the update right here, I'm actually using the try catch. So I'll catch an exception if something pops up, and if an exception happens, I'm going to return a 404 status code, because that's the only exception that I handle right now. And if everything goes well, I'm going to return an OK status code with the actual updated order. So very simple stuff, just like we did in the last lesson. And the delete one, I'm not even checking anything. So again, it's up to you, but I think you should add something here to do some kind of check. Like if I try to delete something that isn't even available, I might send an error back saying, well, you didn't find the thing you wanted to delete, so try again or figure out another ID or whatever. And then you would change this to an, again, instead of a void, it would be some kind of action, an IAction result. And you could try and play around with actually making that work if you want to kind of extend the code I created right here. That's really up to you. So now the orders controller is in place. Let's try and launch all of this and see if it works. So I'm getting at least information that I have orders, and I'm just getting back an empty array. So let's try and fix that so it's not empty. And that's the last thing we'll do this lesson, and then we'll start looking at something completely different. So I'm going to zoom here again, and I'm going to go all the way down to the startup.cs file right here. Because the reason I'm not seeing any orders right now is actually because I didn't add any orders default like I did with the customer service right here. So inside, under startup.cs, under configure, under app development or environment is development, notice down here I'm actually using the customer service to create a customer's object. So I'll do the same now, but with an order business object, right? Order business object, there we go. And instead of using the customer service, I'll use the order service. And then instead of putting in these information, I'll actually put in delivery date and order date. So I want to show you something cool here. Date time. That's actually a pretty cool class. To use it, you have to call in and use system. So let me just try and show you that again. Using system. And now we can actually do something called now, like this, not new, now. And what this means is actually I'm getting the time right at this millisecond when the program is launched or when I'm creating something. And then I can do something cool. I can say add month like this, and then I can actually add a month to date now. So that means that I'm going to deliver this in a month. I can do the same now with the order date, and let me show you something else that's cool with the date time. So let's just do date time here again. Now to say it's right now, and then I can add month again but this time I'll put in a -1. That means that I'm going back in time 1 month. Sweet, right? So it's very easy to work with the date time. Now I created an order, and let's just restart the program, and let's see if we can actually see that order now with the get all. So I did a send again, and notice, there we go. We have the order back, we have the date time, everything's good. So here we have the order date, that's 08, and here we have the delivery date, that's 010. So, or sorry, 10. So you can see that's 1 month behind and 1 month ahead, right? Sweet, everything is running. Now, we could start validating stuff in the order, and I think you should consider that, saying that this order date shouldn't be after the delivery date. That would be kind of weird. So you could start doing validations there as well to get some better testing of your system. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. I can just test one more thing, and that is, can I get a single order? And I can. So let's end it here. I know the create works, the post works, and I know the put works, the update, and I know the delete will work. So let's not look at that right now. Let's start working with something else. See you next.